that dress.
Thank you. I feel like Easter Sunday.
Honey, you look great, Miss Easter Sunday, but that shoulder, it gives me all the yeses. Where is Miss Stephanie Jones joining us from home? Hey, girl.
Hey, yay, it's ladies' night.
Yes, love that. All right, let's get to the top of the stories. Jimmy Kimmel is facing backlash over an old interview with actress Megan Fox. Back in 2009, he made a joke about Megan's appearance in the movie Bad Boys 2. Take a look.
I was wearing a Stars and Stripes bikini and a red cowboy hat and like 6-inch heels. And he approved it, and they said, you know, Michael, she's 15, so you can't sit her at the bar and she can't have a drink in her hand. So his solution to that problem was to then have me dancing underneath a waterfall getting soaking wet. And that's
perfectly wholesome.
At 15, I was in 10th grade. So that's sort of a microcosm of how Bay's mind works.
Well, that's really a microcosm of how all our minds work. But
the film's director, Michael Bay, is also under fire for over-sexualizing a teenage Megan in the film and for claims that her audition for Transformers included washing his Ferrari in a bikini. But Megan is speaking out. In an Instagram post, she denies ever having to wash a car for an audition or do anything outside of what was in a script, and says she was never preyed upon in a sexual manner by Michael Bay. The director also posted a still from one of Megan's auditions to prove she wasn't in a bikini, writing that he thinks she's fantastic and is proud to have worked with her. Ooh, Stephanie Jones, everybody's talking about this story today. Weigh in on it.
Well, I think also what we need to comment on is the fact of the comment that Jimmy Kimmel made as well, saying that that's a thought that apparently every man has about a 15-year-old, but just chooses not to say it publicly. I find that extremely concerning.
Yeah, not only concerning, offensive. I also want to bring up,
Yep.
Yeah, and for Megan Fox, Erica, I think, it's demeaning to her too. We have to look at, everybody is globbing on, going, of course this happened to Megan Fox. When in reality, she probably feels like, what, I couldn't have gotten the part unless you think I had to wash his car in a bikini. So I feel bad for her in this situation too.
I think it really shows what was acceptable and when. It wasn't that long ago that we had a major issue, and it still happens, but it's not as prevalent today. But 13 years ago, it was very common for children to be over-sexualized. Think about the countdowns to when Britney Spears turned 18 or Jessica Simpson turned 18.
Or the Olsen twins.
Right. Now they're fair game. I remember, I was only 19 when I started doing radio in Chicago. And I remember being really creeped out by some of the comments that were made by the artists who were younger than me. But it was considered completely acceptable to say those things on the air, to the point where you, as a woman, you're sitting there like, am I crazy?
Right. No.
Like, what's happening?
Exactly. And Stephanie, listen, as Erica said, maybe it was okay, and I say that in quotations, accepted back then. But now that it's not, and I'm so relieved that we can have these conversations and clearly point out that you said it's concerning, it's offensive. What do you think will happen to Jimmy Kimmel?
I don't know. I worry about this because, I do like Jimmy Kimmel. I enjoy watching his show, but I feel like now we're seeing this kind of a repetitive pattern of, oh, that was a mistake. Oh, I didn't mean that. And it seems to be happening a lot. And I know times change, and so do people, and we all make mistakes. But what I worry about as well is, where is team in all of this? Where are the producers, the people that are also helping write the script? Was that just an off-the-cuff comment? Did anyone say anything or pull him up on it afterwards? I know we have a whole team that do that with us and help correct us or guide us. So I just wonder, what is going on behind the scenes there too, for that to be continually allowed to keep happening over and over again.
Good point. Yeah, it points to the culture. It really does. Okay, so Friends star Lisa Kudrow has a pretty alarming confession. She has never watched the 90s sitcom. What? She recently sat down with fellow friend Jennifer Aniston for Variety's Actors on Actors series. Take a listen.
What are your favorite episodes of the Friendship Show, Fluge?
Well, I feel like I'm going along with the crowd, in that I don't watch the show. I'm still not watching it in the hopes that one day we sit down and watch them together.
No, by the way, that's something that will happen.
I think it should.
I think it should.
And Lisa did admit to watching some clips online, but that is it. Erica, do you believe her?
I believe her, actually. When we first started the show, I would watch on a regular basis because I was trying to figure out like what I was doing.
Well, you came from radio.
Right, coming from radio, there was another element that I had to consider. But probably in the past like 2 years, I do not watch the show. What I'll watch is if there's a clip that is getting some action on social media, then I have to prepare myself to see what I said, because sometimes I don't.
I know that is nerve-wracking. Sometimes I get so nervous, Stephanie, watching stuff back. Like, what did I say? Did I say it properly? Do you get nervous, Steffi, watching things back? Do you watch the show?
It depends what it is and what's happened that day, and like, you know, if my point came across in the way in which I intended, because what everyone needs to remember is we're live and we do this once. This isn't a sitcom where they do it 100 times, you know. But are we surprised you didn't watch it? No. I'm ready for America to come at me. We all know Friends is a snooze fest. I wouldn't watch it either.
Ooh, this is my favorite, Stephanie. This is what I miss, Stephanie. I wish you were here in the studio right now. I know that Erica loved Friends, so what do you think, Erica?
I was a Friends fan. About watching it now, it's hard to watch now. I think Friends was something that in its day, in its element, I enjoyed, but now it's kind of like,
yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm impartial on this one. Chime in, DBL Nation. You be the decider. Okay, so Will Smith, he got very candid about his first marriage on a recent episode of Red Table Talk hosted by his current wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Watch.
Divorce was the ultimate failure for me.
Yeah.
I've been hurt a lot in my adult life, but I don't think anything touches the failure of getting divorced from my 2-year-old son's mother.
Will also spoke about his son, Trey, and that Trey felt abandoned after the divorce and how he couldn't be the dad that his first wife, Sherry Zampino, wanted him to be. Will and Trey have since reconciled. Wow. You know, Erica, he brought up the fact that he felt like a failure. He was very transparent, as most guests are on Red Table Talk. I love watching that show. You know, you've been very candid on this show about your divorce. Can you relate to what Will is saying?
I think that it's very different when there are children involved. In my situation, there weren't any children involved, so it was just up to us to pick up and keep our lives moving. If there were children involved, it likely would have been a longer marriage, because I think people try to stick things out for the family. I did feel like a failure, but it was more in the idea of I don't like to just give up on things, but at the same time, I had to be realistic, and he had to be realistic about the fact that we wanted 2 different things and we're moving in 2 different directions. So I think that initially it's failure, but then there's an emancipation that happens.
Yeah, and look, you got your Anthony now, so hey.
I know, right? Hey.
Okay, so Steph, do you remember rapper Ja Rule from the Fire Festival scam? I mean, that's not the only reason why we know him.
How can we forget, Sam? How can we forget?
Well, in case you don't know what the Fire Festival scam is, though, really quickly to the DBL Nation, that's the one that promoted a bogus luxury concert experience. Well, Ja Rule's back, and he is the new pitchman for a Greek restaurant in L.A. Watch, and then we'll discuss.
They got everything. I'm going to just give you a rundown of some of my favorites. They got tzatziki. Hold on. Octopi tequila. Well, whatever, but it's good. Abolamano soup. Carbo pizza. And they got wine, too. I'm telling you, come on down to Papa Cristo.
Well, the spot was actually for a new TBS reality show called Celebrity Show Off. Stars compete with each other to create viral content on YouTube. And Papa Christo's Greek grill is real, by the way, and the owner says he is so happy with the commercial. All right, Erica, is this, or first Stephanie, because you're nodding your head. Erica's laughing, but Stephanie, good or bad marketing in your opinion?
Okay, so when I first watched it, I'm not gonna lie, I had the story slightly different. I thought this was a genuine, like, full-on ad, but obviously now I know it's for a reality TV show. And I was like, what is he thinking? Did Fire Festival? I know it hit hard, but times must be bad. But seriously, no, it made me laugh, and I was like, oh, when he was trying to pronounce like tzatziki and the other Greek foods, I was like, oh no, please. It was like I wanted him to stop, but I couldn't help but laugh at the same time, you know?
Got it. It's like the train wreck that you can't stop looking at. What about you, Erica?
I'm going to say Afghanisto. Ja Rule.
What does that mean?
Nai, signomi, nai.
What is that? Tell us. Tell us, Erica. Fluent in Greek?
Hi, how are you, Ja Rule? No, sorry, no.
How did you know that?
Well, and somebody's going to be like, you pronounced it wrong. But no, I was supposed to study in Greece.
Wow.
I was supposed to study abroad, so I did my Greek classes, and then I ended up doing my internship in radio instead.
Dang. Did you know that she could speak Greek, Steph?
Yeah, she's thrown it out there casually when her and Anthony went there on holiday, and she was like just throwing out a lot of Greek words, and I was like, okay, Erica, I see you. I hear you, rather.
I like to string them together.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I like it. All right, Stephanie, stick around. Coming up on DBL, meet a teen known as the TikTok tutor. Forget dance videos. He's helping teach an entire generation of kids whose educations were sidelined by COVID-19. Then we are chatting with a husband and wife celebrity training team. They're showing us some exercises you can do with your boo. And as we go to commercial, another look at our empty studio. That's right, everyone's working from home to make sure that DBL is new every day. We appreciate you guys. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Luther and Kathy Freeman are known for reinventing celebrity bodies with their 30-day transformation program, and quarantine has not slowed them down. Earlier, Lindsay spoke with them in today's DBL Spotlight.
Luther and Kathy Freeman, thank you guys so much for joining Daily Blast Live.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We're all in social isolation, so Kathy, I have to ask you, there's a term making the rounds called quarantine fatigue. Can you break that down for us?
Oh, yes. If you heard anybody say there's only 3 days in the week right now, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, you may be suffering from quarantine fatigue. It's where everything is starting to look one tone. You know, just life in general feels like we're stuck in this hamster wheel of going on repeat.
And Luther, it's hard to stay motivated when, honestly, there's nowhere to go. No parties, no events, you know, where you gotta be looking nice. So how do you keep the motivation to continuously work out?
I think we should create a new relationship with health in general. Instead of focusing on getting in shape, we should focus on just making this a lifestyle change. And also just not putting pressure on ourselves, but at the same time, being honest and real with ourselves. And am I afraid of failure? Don't run from failure, and don't run, just face it and accept it and expect it to happen and deal with it.
Exactly. Now, you guys transformed Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, and my partner and I would love to get in a workout routine. We ride bikes now from time to time, but we want to get in a real routine. And we know that some of your workouts require no machinery, no nothing. So let's start with stand-ups. Why is this workout good for couples?
Stand-ups are great because it puts you in an intimate position. And also,
Once you try it, you'll know.
And also it helps you to learn how to provide pressure. So you can give leverage and you can take leverage. And that's what relationships all about, right?
Help them grow.
Okay, let's talk about Lean On Me, because I love that name, love that movie, everything. So tell me about the workout.
Triceps.
Yeah, it activates your triceps, and it engages your core and your whole body, and it's a great tricep movement that I would do on the wall if I was by myself. But when you have a partner, it just makes it fun.
Okay, and what about Trust Me? I see all these names have some different connotations.
The exercise Trust Me is not about doing it right. It's a pistol squat, essentially. It's all about trust.
Your partner's going to be supporting you, and you're going to be supporting them at the same time. If one of y'all starts buckling, guess what? You're going to start wobbling all over the place.
And so go ahead and create the buckle, create the momentum, create the push, so that way you feel a little more.
Yeah.
I was completely amazed by what you guys did, and I'm hoping that we have the same success continuously. Thank you both, Luther and Kathy Freeman, for helping us all live our best, healthiest lives.
You're welcome.
Right.
Pleasure meeting
Sending
you.
love to everybody out there right now. Be blessed and be
Be
safe.
safe. That's right.
We'll be right back.
We all know that movement
Welcome back to DBL. If you have a teenager, chances are you've heard of TikTok. The social media app is popular among teens and famous for its dance challenges. But there's a new rising star in TikTok. Instead of busting a move, one 16-year-old is taking remote learning to the next level by giving thousands of followers math lessons. Yep, earlier Al spoke to the TikTok tutor in today's DBL Spotlight.
Okay, so if we have a function 2x plus 8, right, and I ask you what is the inverse of it, well, what you would do is that you have to switch the x and y value. But what if we have something like this, or this, or this.
What's up, DBL Nation? We have 16-year-old high school student / TikTok math tutor star Alexis Lovarez is in the building. Alexis, how are you feeling today, and welcome to DBL?
I'm feeling really welcomed and excited to be interviewed, so thank you very much.
All right, now I have to ask you this question. Now, Alexis, people your age, you're 16, you're supposed to be young, having fun. Everybody on TikTok is doing dance challenges. Why are you doing math tutorials? I think that's so cool.
I just thought that it's time to be different. Like, oh, like you see how there's like a lot of people making dance videos. Like, why not just do something else? Like, be a part of the education TikTok. I also like know a lot of coding, so like I kind of like do some like. I kind of play around with some like coding programs, and then with that I also like like watch YouTube, watch Netflix. Like I like take a break for myself and then like do TikTok videos for everyone to see, for my followers. So it's like it's like I give myself a break like in the time between school and TikTok. But overall, this is like like sum up what's my day.
Well, you tried something different and it worked, brother. I mean, tell us about the response. Were you surprised at the number of followers that you got?
Yeah, like I was very surprised. Like from the beginning of February, like it was like an explosion for me. Like I was like, whoa, like what is happening? Like with like the amount of people who needed help with math and science videos, like it's just like been an amazing experience since February, making these videos for my students that are following me, which is really amazing.
If A minus B over B equals 3 over 7, which of the following must be true?
Well, Alexis, my only beef with you is that you were born 25 years too late to help me, because I definitely could have used your math help. Now, I taught 7th grade middle school in Miami for 5 years, so I'm gonna ask you, are you on the path to becoming a teacher? Do you have other dreams? Like, what's the future hold for Alexis?
I actually don't know yet, but this has been like, an experience like I actually like might want to do and pursue in the future.
And so A over B should be 10 over 7. Why? Because 1 is the same thing as 7 over 7. So 7 over 7 plus 3 over 7 is 10 over 7. And so if we look at these answer choices, it will be B.
There it is. Alexis, the TikTok tutor, is in the building. We really appreciate you stopping by DBL. You have to do me a favor. You have to make me a promise. This is not going to be your only visit on our show. We're going to see you soon.
Yes, you will. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. You guys heard it here first. He's coming back, and we'll be right back as well.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. So hot tub sales have skyrocketed during the coronavirus pandemic, but many have found themselves purchasing ones that never actually existed. So scammers are taking advantage of people by advertising hot tubs online at discount prices. They tell the customer, pay online because of the lockdown restrictions, but then they never actually deliver the dang tub. So remember, never pay online or over the phone to a business or person you don't know. When it comes to fraud, to protect yourself, call LifeLock at 1-800-495-8730. Oh boy, Steph, are you a tubber? Would you try and buy one of these hot tubs?
Yeah, my mum and dad literally just bought a hot tub, so they actually did do that over in England. Luckily, it was real, so that's thanks God. But I've seen a lot of things like this as well online for clothing companies that don't exist, and then you just make sure you look in the comments, see how much feedback the people leave, because I've looked in comments of what I believe to be online clothing stores, and then people saying, I never got my order, no one's responding to me. So it's not just the big expensive purchases, you know, it could be something as small as a t-shirt. So make sure you check the feedback, guys. It's really important.
Great advice, but Steph, you didn't answer my question. Are you a tubber?
Oh, yeah. So I live in an apartment building. My apartment has a hot tub which has been closed until literally Friday. I've been in it every day since.
Are you a tubber, Miss Erica?
I want to be, but I'm going to have to settle for my inflatable pool.
That works.
Yeah.
Got to look out for them pigeons, though.
I know.
Stephanie, thank you. We love you. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow.